In today's episode of What's in My Quilter's Toolbox, I want to talk about a stiletto. A stiletto is simply a pointed end that can be used and be very helpful when you're piecing. This particular one was given to me by my mother many years ago. It's quite fancy and has this cute little cap that you can put on it to keep it safe. The problem with the cap is that normally when I'm ready to use the stiletto, I only have one hand free, and trying to get that cap off is hard, so I pretty much leave the cap off of it. You could also simply use the pointed end on your seam ripper. One of the simplest ones that I have, and this was made by a friend of mine, is a barbecue skewer that has a pony bead on the end of it. Again, the main thing we want is that pointy end. Many of us already own a purple thing that is used for many different applications, but one of the things it can be used for is that pointed end can be used as a stiletto. And this is one of my favorite stilettos. This one was made again by a friend of mine. She used a kebab skewer and attached some beads to it. It's simple, it's fun, it's pretty, and most importantly, it has that pointed end that gets the job done. One of the places that you can really use a stiletto is anytime you're piecing something that has the seam allowances that are pointing towards the needle. You know that oftentimes as we do it, the seam allowance is going to push back the other direction as we're coming across. So we can use the stiletto just to stick right in there and help it stay in place. Let me show you. As I start sewing, I'm going to come down here and match up my one seam that I have to match, just to hold it in place. But as I come along, when I start hitting that seam, it's going to potentially start pulling back. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to set my stiletto right beside it and just let it push through like that. Because I'm working with bias along this edge, it's also easy for it to stretch. So a lot of times I will just put my stiletto right here at the end of my piece and let it keep those things together as I'm drawing it in.